And welcome back to another fish room video. Okay, this is part one. There may never be a part two, but it's looking promising so far. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I've got a fish room, lots of fish, been spawning and breeding fish for a long time. Yes, over 40 years or so, which is kind of ridiculous, but hey, someone's got to do it. I've never bred coolie loaches before, and for the last, let's say 6 or 7 years, every time I've got a nice coolie loach go through the shop, because I have an aquarium shop, I will pinch 1 or 2 of them, and I've built up quite a collection. I think there's about 40 or so coolie loaches, give or take, about 4 different species, and they are all in here. Now, looking at the internet on how to spawn coolie loaches, oh my goodness, it's the internet, so there's a lot of dodgy information. Yeah, some people will help you, some won't. There's a few people that have spawned them in captivity, so it's promising. But none of them have really got back to me after emailing them, etc, etc. Oh, there's a little purple tail there. Check out that. That is an awesome coolie loach. Look how glowing that is. Oh, you're reversing? No, you're not. Anyway, so they are all in there currently. This system is 12 tanks. It is soft water, which is low general hardness or GH, to spawn tetras and some puffers and the hoplo catfish. Lots of things have been breeding lately. There was a really cool tetra in here somewhere. Can't even see it at the moment. No, we'll come back to that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But everything else is kind of spawning, doing their thing. Except these guys and girls. So the way that I've rigged up this system is about a couple of inches of water, obviously water. I have leaf litter, I have some subwassatang, I have some moss, and I have these little clay balls, whatever they're called, licher or laker or whatever they are, but they are sort of semi-floating so that the fish can actually push in between them. So it's sort of recreating sort of a marshy area, and everything I've read about coolie loaches is they breed after a rain, so the water temperature will drop, the water hardness will drop, and it will flood. So we're sort of doing the shallow water like that. At the moment, this system, well, this tank is connected to the whole system, and the sump is at the back. My big mess everywhere. There is the sump there. Now, most tanks, just the water goes into it, it overflows, and then goes back into the sump where I have my heaters, and no filtration. All the filtration is just in the sponge filters in these tanks. This tank here obviously doesn't have a sponge filter in it, but instead of going through there, I've just drilled a hole at the front, so the water is going back down into the tank down below. So it's actually just pumping into that tank there, and then this tank is going back into the sump. So the whole idea of this is I'm actually going to disconnect it off this system, have a pump in there, pumping the water back up there. So it's just that main tank there is going to be the sump, and that tank there is going to be the breeding or spawning area. And all going well, what we'll do is I'm filling up my barrel with reverse osmosis water. So low mineral water, we're going to do a few top ups with this. And we're going to actually just connect, I'm going to put a pipe up here so that I can slowly raise the water level. So first I'm going to do a couple of little water changes to lower the general hardness, keep it shallow, and then I'm just going to slowly build the water up. And hopefully they will spawn in there. Any eggs and stuff, obviously they're going to get eaten by the adults, but some should survive because that is a pretty dense area for them to all do their thing. And hopefully any little babies will go through the mesh there and they'll end up in this tank. So I'm going to just have to hook up a sponge pre-filter and make sure that the flow isn't too fast. There's a hoplos, that's a short-bodied hoplo looking ridiculously fat with eggs. Look at her. I know their nest has kind of been broken down the last couple of days, but I'm pretty sure they're keen to go again. So hopefully we'll have some more eggs of those. But yes, I'll just set this up so there's a few little bits and places. If there is any babies, they'll hide down there. But it's mostly just conditioning them. Well, they're all completely filled with eggs, so it's really triggering them at the moment. So that is sort of where we are with this. I thought I'd just do a quick video on, what I'm mucking around with and that, because I've done a fair few videos on everything else that's breeding in the fish room, and the coolie loaches kind of get neglected a little bit. So if you have seen any of my other videos, Culiloches were in here with a few tetras, I think the albino cardinal tetras, and the Otto catfish. I've just moved them next door in with these leucistic Kerry tetras. So albino cardinals are in there. Where on earth? Yeah, little Ottos are right at the back as well. So they're just doing their thing. There's a couple of them there. There's one right there. So I will be spawning those as well. I just have to muck around and concentrate on, 50 things at once instead of just, 20, 50, 100, whatever I'm doing. I have no idea. But that is where we are with that. Hopefully that will work. If you've got any questions or comments, or if you've actually spawned them and you have any information other than I put them in a tank and they bred, because that's not kind of helpful. I know, congratulations if they bred, but if you don't know what the water quality was like, how you triggered them to spawn, it's not helping. And yeah, we sort of would like to know how they're actually triggered. Obviously in the wild, there is a huge rush of new water, low mineral water. So we're going to try that and hopefully that will work. Anyway, oh, there we go. There's our little one neon tetra. How cute is that? That's ridiculous. Look at your little fat belly. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my short video. Hopefully they will spawn in the next week or so. I think we've got some thunderstorms the next couple of days, so I will start changing with RO water, get myself a little pump so it's just on this circulating system, and hopefully we'll have some little Culiloches in another month or two, all going well. And while we're here, I thought I would just update what we're doing, and we have a couple of Senegals in here. Well, actually I have 2 boys and 2 girls. Just about ready to spawn. This is 90% RO water in here. Haven't seen them do much. Oh, you're yawning. But the females are filled with eggs, and temperature wise, I'm doing it unheated at the moment. We're at 21.5, so it's gone a little bit cooler. I think today it's going to jump up to about 30 degrees Celsius, so this temperature is going to jump to about 25, 26, which should start them spawning. Then everything will be fine. And yes, I have done that before, hence baby Senegals. Was a baby Senegal. I've just fed them. There's a baby Senegal. Lovely fish. And if you are local, I do sell these. They are available this weekend in my shop, depending on when you're watching this, which might not be now, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my quick video. Hopefully everything else will start spawning soon and we will have a ridiculous amount of fun, because yeah, that's the whole idea of keeping fish, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video. If you want to become a member, click the membery thing down below, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks heaps for watching.